you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
Back on the field after a knee injury robbed him of his rookie season, but he showed a ton of promise in the limited sample size we saw of him during the preseason. Go back to the University of Michigan. You saw an accurate passer who ran the offense extremely well, but don't be fooled by that. He was never afraid to attack defenses with his arm, and he'll try to do the same here in the NFL.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. Looking to throw McCarthy.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Now McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
On play action, now McCarthy. That's to the left side where he's got Miller.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Second and a couple.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 15-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
To the air with McCarthy.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Jalen Naylor.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And there's no doubt about the talent that we see from C.J. Stroud. We've watched it develop in his first 2 years in the league. But the best way quarterbacks are graded is winning. He's out there trying to win his 3rd division championship in as many years.
Looking to put a drive together.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
They maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud. To the sideline and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On play action, McCarthy.
Rolling to his left. And running with power here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason.
And he stopped immediately there. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Here's McCarthy.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner and put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
And his kick is indeed good.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. It'll be a gain of 5. And that will bring up 2nd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Play action. Stroud now. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. He's trying to get that to Brevin Jordan.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Stroud working out of the gun. He'll complete this one to Collins.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Got to give to Mixon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Stroud sets up the play action.
Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Stroud keeps it. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Stroud off the play fake.
Flush to his right. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
And Stroud now to throw. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Here's Tommy Townsend now,
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards in the 1st.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the 1st half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Mario Edwards from his in spot, able to push in there and drop him behind the line.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
They'll start with the option.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Stroud. Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Throwing is McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big and a fresh set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Henry Toro there on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Open man is Naylor. He's got it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive. This offense on the march.
Now Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. 10-0 our score. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. McCarthy operating from the gun. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. McCarthy is set to throw it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And now out comes Houston.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Following the fumble recovery, Stroud. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Stroud looking to throw. He'll let this go deep for Collins.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Stroud to throw it. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
Here goes Stroud again.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report. Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Gets past one man. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, putting some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Open man is Kirk, complete. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Stroud out of the gun here. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. To the air with McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now McCarthy. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This now a 3rd and 4. Straight ahead, here's Mason. He appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Houston set to take over. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll send Kirk in motion right.
Throwing to start the drive. Stroud. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On play action, McCarthy.
Being chased out left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Addison will go in motion left. McCarthy off the play fake. Completes this to Addison out left. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings.
Jordan Addison,
62 yards.
and the Vikings are able to stretch out their lead.
And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together.
Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Play action. Here's Stroud. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And Stroud now to throw.
Ogunbowale on the screen. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. .43 yards on the punt, return of 4.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's McCarthy.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass complete to Addison.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Looking to throw. McCarthy. Under pressure, they got him again.
That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Yeah. Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Making us look bad. What just happened? Seriously? Is that even a play?
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
Here's Berrios.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Out.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty.
Now Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Stroud. Will complete this one to Collins.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Stroud to throw it. He's got Higgins over the middle. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Chubb.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
C.J. Stroud
Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was C.J. Stroud who finished off that drive with the touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really...
You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now out comes Houston. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Looking to put a drive together. Stroud looking to throw. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And not that the coach asked me, but I do like the call there to start the drive. Looking for something maybe to jumpstart this offense. And they decided to run a little screen play. Maybe give their running back a little bit of space. Mission accomplished. He turns that into good yardage and a quick first down.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Byron Murphy there on the tackle. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing now is Stroud. To Pierce, they set up the screen.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A handoff here to Ogunbowale. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Stroud working out of the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
That's caught into the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less.
To the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Here's 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Christian Kirk, a 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
A handoff to start the drive to Mason.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Now McCarthy. That's to the left side where he's got Miller.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
On the screen, this is Mason. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On the give, it's Mason.
But he shifts past him. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he will have a Viking 1st down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. Those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the 4th quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.